The New York Knicks, despite losing in the first round, had a wildly successful season. But now, the viewpoint towards the Knicks is, what are they gonna do in the offseason? Can they get that superstar to build for the future? My opinion, the Knicks are on the verge of potentially building a super team. So let's start with how they can get Damian Lillard. Off the bat, I know that it seems likely that Damian is going to stay with the Blazers. But keep in mind, at some point, especially with the superstar, they just have enough of not winning in the postseason and would want to win a ring now. Paul George made it seem that he was going to be staying with both the Pacers and the Thunder, only to leave the situation to try and win a ring. Same applies with KD when he left the Thunder. But how this applies towards the Knicks is that New York may be one of the few teams that can best appease the Trailblazers in a trade. If/when the Blazers do trade Lillard, this is signaling a rebuild. There's no chance that the Blazers would still try to win after trading their superstar player. So, getting young talent and draft picks would be what they want. Out of all the teams then, such as the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Heat, the Knicks just have so much more assets to trade. Already just in this draft alone, the Knicks have 2 first-round picks that they can offer to the Blazers in a trade. And in this trade, the Knicks have quality young talent on this team, such as RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, Obi Toppin, and even Mitchell Robinson that they can offer. The Blazers would get talented youth to build for the future, while the Knicks would be able to get that superstar player on their roster. But at this point, I know some viewers are going to say, why should the Knicks give up on their young talent? Especially when this talent was able to get them in the playoffs, somewhere that they haven't been for a couple of years now. Well, the thing is, by trading for Damian Lillard, the Knicks are setting themselves up nicely for Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi, if we all remember correctly, was going to give the Knicks a meeting alongside the Lakers and Clippers in free agency, before the Knicks pulled the meeting off. So already off the bat, it seems that Kawhi does have a major interest in playing in Madison Square Garden. But how the Knicks are just benefiting from this can be through the Clippers. The Clippers managed to take care of business against the Dallas Mavericks. But what if they slip up again in the second round against the Utah Jazz? Kawhi isn't going to mess around. His mindset is to win championships. He's pretty much then wasted 2 years of his prime with this Clippers team. Do we really think that he's going to want to run this back 4 more years? Especially in the Western Conference as well, where you can argue each playoff team can make the finals? Kawhi, as a result, has that perfect opportunity to bounce from the Clippers and Paul George, who haven't done much as of yet, to now a young, gritty New York Knicks team that can include Damian Lillard. Who wouldn't say no to this? But honestly, probably the best part about all of this has to be through what happens with Julius Randle. Now, as of this moment, I know Randle's contract is a major question, and he didn't play well in the playoffs. But for now, I'm going to assume that the Knicks would just opt in to Randle's $20 million team option. I don't know too much details about the Knicks cap space, but if they can find a way to tweak around their $60 million that they do have, we can potentially see a Julius Randle, Damian Lillard, and Kawhi Leonard Knicks team. Can you imagine how scary this would be? Randle would become that third guy on this team easily, and probably would be his best position after all, because teams can't place the attention that the Hawks place on Randle, with Damian and Kawhi both being on the same team. With Damian, you're going to get instant scoring with clutch gene abilities. Kawhi, elite two-way ability, while also being able to close out games as well. And Randle, just being that versatile forward that got him his Most Improved Player award. Again, I don't know too much particularly about the Knicks cap space, but keep an eye on this. I'm very interested to see if the Knicks can pull this off, because one thing is for sure, the Knicks are back. Let's see if the rest of the league will pay attention to this. Until next time, peace.